Guys, what's going on? Zach Evanish here, Underground Strength Coach, Underground Strength Gym. And I want to talk about a post that I put up on Instagram, and I titled it 5 Program Design Tips, but then I crossed out the tips. And it's basically 5 program design thoughts, things for you to consider as a strength and conditioning coach, or if you're a sport coach running the weight room, training athletes, food for thought. Now, before I get into it, this is the week that the online Underground Strength Coach course is live. And basically, this is the entrance to get into a live certification. The Underground Strength Coach course, go to undergroundstrengthcert.com. Guys, it's 10 and a half hours of video footage. It's full certification recorded, seminar with Matt Wenning and I, seminar product that I did with the Barbell Shrugged crew, now Shrug Collective, live recordings of full training sessions from 2 Underground Strength Gym locations, business videos. It's just powerful beyond my words. If you're serious about building hammers and building a culture in a gym, in a weight room that attracts more students, more great people, this is for you. Let's get into it, guys. Number 1, simple, not easy. Thank you to the internet, and I know the internet will sue me now. We see a lot of crazy exercises, things that are a lot of flash, things that are, just shy of a circus trick, and it attracts a lot of people. It attracts a lot of people because it's what we call artificial knowledge. I see people doing split squats or lunges, and their trainer is hitting them with a physio ball. I see people like breathing through straws and juggling tennis balls in the NFL. You don't need that stuff, guys. The people that are in the NFL, they don't need that stuff either. It's great for Instagram and YouTube views, but in your heart, if you're a sport performance coach, this is not what you're doing. And when I say simple, not easy, sometimes the simplest program that is simple on paper, simple on a whiteboard, it looks like, wow, this is not going to be really effective for results. But when I think about conversations I've had with guys like Marty Gallagher, other friends where we go and train Naval Special Warfare Development Group, Brett Bartholomew, they're doing basics. They're doing the basics. They're doing the simple things savagely well, as my friend Jim Kiertzy says from Kennesaw State football. Squats, cleans, carries, sprinting, all types of calisthenics, jumping when it's appropriate for that kind of athlete. They're doing these simple things great. The fancier the exercise, the more complicated it is for you to teach it, the more difficult it is for them to learn it. And you got to remember, training in the weight room or wherever you're doing the training, it must feed the sport. If it interferes with the sport or it takes energy and time and all kinds of, commitment away from the actual sport itself, then you're not doing it right. So you want to think of, making your training as economically sound as possible. How can I get the most bang for my buck, maximum effectiveness from the minimal effective dose? Okay? And also with that thought on simple, here's a simple breakdown of it. Easy to teach, easy to learn, highly effective. Boom. Number 2, never underestimate how weak people are. They're inexperienced in lifting. They might be a high-level athlete, tennis, swimming, volleyball, basketball, wrestling, but they are not. That does not automatically make them high-level in strength and conditioning, which strength and conditioning is an umbrella term, I call it. It's really sports performance. That being said, somebody was making a comment on one of the posts, and they were talking about how they keep telling these athletes to keep a flat back, but no matter what he says to the kids, these athletes will not keep a flat back. And I said, they're not bad kids. They're not refusing to listen to you. They are too weak for the exercises that you've selected. So as a coach, you have misdiagnosed them. You have given them a prescription of exercises. You've selected exercises that are too advanced for them. Why? Because they're unable to keep their back flat because they are too weak. So I share a story about when I went to Lehigh University coaching them. Those guys were ranked 9th in the country at the time. And I was thinking to myself, wow, Division I wrestlers, All-Americans, top 10 team in the country, wrestlers. We're going to be doing power cleans and deadlifts, and we're going to be killing these advanced barbell exercises. And I remember that first day, sumo deadlifts were on tap. I remember half of the guys could not even perform a sumo deadlift with a flat back, even at 135, 185, and they had no hip hinging strength. So I remember right in the middle of that workout, I said, guys, you're hitting your last set of sumo deads, put the bars away, strip it down. I took them through workouts that I take middle school athletes through. I taught them how to do one-arm kettlebell carries, overhead, rack, suitcase, and you're going to actually get a full video, not just from the recordings of the training sessions from the Underground Strength Gym, but we recorded an Underground Strength Coach certification. So you're going to see the warm-up inside the online course. I took them through the one-arm carries. I took them through a boatload of calisthenics, all types of lunges, Bulgarian split squats, back extensions, side planks, front planks, partner hand walking where you have to keep your abs tight and you're walking on your hands, a lot of recline rowing, and then we would intermix band work, hanging abs, holding upright on a dip bar, lifting your knees, lifting your legs. I took them through like these gymnastics strength building exercises, unilateral kettlebell exercises with the different kind of carries, and then a ton of sled work. I took them through that introductory phase for probably 2 or 3 weeks. Then they were ready physically and emotionally to get into the barbell work. But I made the mistake of thinking, oh, All-Americans. We've got 4-time All-State wrestlers, 2-time, 3-time state champs. They're going to be great at lifting. Not the case. Same thing when I was at Rutgers. I remember on a daily basis telling guys, squat all the way down during the warm-up, bodyweight squats, pull-ups, extend your arms, stretch your arms on the pull-ups over and over. And so when you're coaching, you can never underestimate just how inexperienced and how weak athletes are, even if they're high level of sport. Number 3, kind of piggybacking on number 2, calisthenics, carries, sleds, sprints, and bands. I didn't write bands in that photo, but can they bang out 20, 30, 40 push-ups with a perfectly straight, locked in trunk body? I see athletes all the time doing push-ups head down, so they're headbutting the floor and sagging their entire trunk. Right there, the push-up is an assessment in and of itself. I could see the upper back weakness. I could see the lack of stability in the trunk. I could see the weakness in the upper body. I could even see weakness in the legs when their legs are crumbling. I mean, they basically look like a worm, like flopping around. So the ability to take a simple exercise such as a bodyweight push-up and break it down and use it as an assessment is what I teach you during the Underground Strength Coach course. And then I'm going to be holding a live certification in the wintertime. If you pass the course, you get invited. And yes, people are like, is it free? No, I don't know why everybody thinks everything is free. When I go out to eat, I don't say, hey, I bought dinner here last week. Is dinner this week free? They'd be like, what are you, smoking crack? So no, it's not free, you crazy people. You're investing in yourself if you're a serious strength coach. That's the bottom line. Calisthenics. Not all athletes are ready for push-ups. I've had many athletes that cannot do push-ups. So if I reverse engineer the push-ups, I got to get their upper body strong. They could do light dumbbell benching. They could do light dumbbell overhead presses. They could do mini band triceps. Not all of them, but once they're ready, mini band triceps. Pull aparts with bands. Face pulls with bands. Recline row to strengthen the back. Planks with bent arms. Planks with straight arms. Side planks. One-arm carries from the rack position and the farmer position. So I'm taking the push-up and I reverse engineer it. That's how I program design. So I want you to think about the power of calisthenics, carries, sprinting, and sled work. You can't mess up dragging or pushing a sled. Forwards, backwards. Sprinting. You want guys to sprint? Line up 5 people and just say ready, set, go, and they have to race whatever, 100 feet or 200 feet. even at that point, they're so weak. I'm not worried about like, hey, do this with your arms, do this with your feet. They come back they do a sprint, they walk back. I say, guys, what I want you to do with your arms, 90 degrees, butt cheek to butt cheek. That's it. I give them I feed them little pieces of information. But the bottom line is their technique is so poor because they're so weak. So we got to crush these calisthenics. Carries, I'm going to do dumbbell farmer walks, kettlebell farmer walks. How do you pick up kettlebells off the floor? Deadlift. How do you put them down? It's the eccentric portion of a squat. And so if we do 5 sets of kettlebell farmer walks, 100 feet, 150 feet, we're getting 5 deadlifts and 5 eccentric squats. Okay? Throughout workouts, you want to sneak in a lot of posterior work with the band. So face pulls, pull aparts, and if you have access to it, back extensions on a 45-degree angle or on a horizontal glute ham developer. Sled work I spoke about. Carries, when they get more advanced, guys, check out my YouTube channel and just type in farmer walks, type in carries. I've got so many variations we utilize, but of course we start with the basic farmer walk. Nothing crazy. Number 4, when an athlete is experienced and we start saying, okay, let's use the bench press for example. You're going to do 5 sets of 5. You're going to do a light set, you're going to do a medium set, and then we're probably going to get to our working set. If you're advanced, you're benching over 315. That takes more than 2 warm-up sets. But what we're doing is we're never going to the point where somebody has to touch the bar. Forced reps. So it's a technique max. If somebody touches the bar on the 3rd rep, then you're not doing 4, let alone 5 reps. And if somebody had to touch the bar before 5 reps, minus the lift off, minus the rack, we're going to drop the weight 15%, maybe even 25%, and do technique max. So those 5 reps, you should feel like you could definitely do 6 reps and maybe even do 7 reps. You see, when I think back to the strongest guys in the gym, ever since I was a kid, the guys that were benching 315, squatting 405, 5 plates, I often saw them training alone. They didn't have spotters. They weren't grinding and doing crazy technique, arching, butt off the bench, humping the sky. That's not a bench press. That's a glute bridge, back bridge. It's crap. Think about a power clean. I see athletes doing these crazy jumping jack back bends. They're going into like a sumo jumping jack back arch. That's not a power clean. Once technique is lost, that set is canceled or that rep is canceled. It does not count. And what you want to teach athletes how to identify to stop before the squirming, before all the crappy grinding happens. There's a lot of emotional and psychological readiness involved in maxing out 1 rep max. So it's always a technique max. I don't 1 rep max athletes, but I'll say work up to 3 heavy sets of 5. If you're unable to get 5, drop it so you could get 5 on the next set. That's how I look at stuff. What about pull-ups, calisthenics, push-ups? I'll say you're going to do sub-max. And we're like, what does that mean? Leave 1 rep in the tank. So you're doing pull-ups. If you're about to swing or kick your legs, that set is over. Stop before it happens. If you're deadlifting and you feel like your back is going to round, drop the bar, set is over. We're training athletes, not powerlifters. Train the mind and the body. For a lot of athletes, training is tough. It's a gut check for them. They might be used to their sport. They might be used to playing outside with their friends. But all of a sudden, they're pushing a sled for 2 or 3 sets, and now they start feeling nauseous. We're not trying to get anybody to throw up, but you know what we want to teach them? Listen, it's tough. If you're going to throw up, we're going to stop the workout. Okay? That's what I say, believe it or not. I know a lot of people don't believe that. We're going to stop the workout. Call your mom and dad. They'll pick you up, and we'll come back next time, and you'll try to get better than this. All right? What's happening is they're like, whoa, he ate this, he ate that. No. He's weak. That's the bottom line. No excuses. He didn't eat. He did eat too close. Listen, what we do at the Underground Strength Gym is hard. And a lot of people, they don't understand that. You know, the lay person, they don't get that. Doing sleds, doing calisthenics, walking on your hands. Our warm up alone is powerful. Add to that warm up trap bar deadlifting or sumo deadlifting or med ball shouldering, and you got quite a impressive program just from that alone. You know, Jim Wendler, when he talks about the training of his football team, squat, bench, trap bar deadlift, chest supported row, incline dumbbell bench. I think they do chins and dips. They do neck work. So, you know, that's like 7 exercises. Neck work is the 8th thing, and they do ab wheel for abs. 9 total things. But as far as like barbell dumbbell movements, I think I mentioned 7 exercises. Get great at the basics. Don't try to fancify things. That being said, I remember training a guy that was doing, took runner-up in the nationals for judo, and did the Olympic trials 2 times, and was one of the country's best judoka, David Ellis, amazing judo player. I remember David getting, you know, really challenged through just our warm-up. Partner hand walking, sprinting, skipping, jumping, push-ups, lunges, split squats, back extensions. We are building the foundation. We are putting the suit of armor on, as my friend House likes to say, and you know, other strength coaches. Building muscle is a suit of armor, okay? Training the mind and the body, the workouts have to be challenging but not stupid, not unsafe, not dangerous. So when I have a new athlete, anything is going to challenge him or her. When I have experienced athletes, then it's about, can you go heavier? Can you move the bar faster? Can you get another rep? Can you get more work done in less time or same amount of work done in less time? We're training, somebody asked, is it the mind-muscle connection? That happens. That comes through experience. But I'm talking about developing grit and durability of mind. And I remember at Lehigh, when I saw how bad some of the guys lifted, I told the coach I'd like to take them to the field and just do a bodyweight / calisthenics workout. And one of the kids, not even in the middle of the workout, he just like, we were out near their football field. It was, the experience still gives me goosebumps. Because I remember the mountains were in the back, the fog was down. I had the guys doing sprints. I had the guys hand fighting and snapping and pummeling. It looked like a brawl was going on out on the grass. We're doing walking lunges, squat jumps, frog jumps, partner hand walking. And not even halfway into it, 15 minutes into it, this one wrestler just turns around and starts walking. And I'm like, maybe he's got to go to class. Maybe he's got somewhere to go. I didn't know. I thought, he's got to go somewhere. And I told the coach, I was like, hey, so-and-so left early. And I was like, maybe he had class. He's like, no, he quit. He quit during the workout. The workout was too hard. Some athletes will not turn the corner. They will fight. They will stray from the tough times. They will fight against it. Others will run into the fire and they will develop that grit and that durability and that toughness. And I always tell athletes, I go, when you'll get great at push-ups, if they're weak at them? When you're going to get strong? When you're sick and tired of struggling on push-ups. When you're sick of being weak, you're going to start doing push-ups on your own. When you're sick of me telling you to squat all the way down and you're telling me you can't and your hips are too tight, when you're sick of being so weak, you're going to start squatting at home. You're going to start doing 250 reps a day. You have to be sick of being weak. And that's the thing, is a coach can pull some of that out of the kid, but the kid has to want it. The athlete has to want it. Guys, so there you go. These are they're not necessarily tips. It's some of my thoughts, not all of my thoughts on program design. I'm Zach Evnesh. Go to undergroundstrengthcert.com. Get squared away with the Underground Strength Coach course. And guys, yeah, I don't train pro athletes. You don't see me train pro athletes. I don't live in the big city, but I build hammers. And I teach you how to command the room, and I teach you how to build beasts, and I teach you how to build something special, whether it's your own private gym or you're working inside of a university or school. Get after it.